Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's new series, Inspired by Spring, where each class will look at what makes spring, spring. Well, spring is the time that we finally get into our yards again and get to enjoy our yards. But sometimes the weather's not so good, so we get to enjoy them from our windows. So today is a project that combines both an inside shot with an outside landscape shot. So here's our project for today. You can see it's inside a house. This is the ceiling, that's the floor. And I've got this beautiful landscape outside the window. Very peaceful. Let's take a look at how some other people have handled this particular topic of making art. Here are a couple examples of a project that we're doing today. You can see we've got the bench, and remember how I said trapezoids would be very important to us? That is a trapezoid, and that shows us that this person is sitting on a couch, not on the edge of a fence. And you can see the whole landscape going on outside the window. And here's one that's in very pale, pale colors. I think they wanted it to have a certain feel about it, so they chose all these pastel colors. It appears to be a desk with some plants on it, and outside are some very light trees, and there's where the grass is. Now here are some photographs. Here's a person, wouldn't that be a great place to be sitting, where this person's sitting, looking out on this beautiful alpine field. So it's the best of both worlds. You get to communicate the atmosphere inside of a house, and you also get to show a landscape. Down on this one, we have an ocean view. And these windows kind of come around and form a curve. And they're all set to be looking for dolphins with their binoculars. So whatever's outside your window is completely up to you. We can go to this one. This one's a little more like what I'm used to seeing out my windows, but we can see the windows here have been opened. So they come out like this. See how that line goes out? Because these windows have been pulled open. So here's our whole landscape. Remember, we need that horizon line. And our last picture we're looking at today is also the ocean. So these windows have been pulled open. Do you see how when they're open, they drop below the windowsill? That tells me that they're open. These are actually trapezoids. Trapezoid on that window and trapezoid on this window. So that's a way of showing your windows are open. And we have that beautiful sunset that's outside our window. I would like to be in that house. Let's take a look at some of the aspects of my drawing here. So here's my window. I started by drawing my window. And then I drew the ceiling line, which is just a line across the top and a line across the bottom. So now I have my window, my floor, and my ceiling. Remember, windows have sills that go around them, so I drew a double line there. My curtains, because they're made out of fabric, I gave them a little bit of curve to them, but you can put any kind of curtains on you want, or no curtains. I put a little bench here. Now here's the trick with a bench. You're going to draw this, and I'll show you when we're doing it. This line here is the side of the bench, and here's a really skinny trapezoid that our kitty cat is sitting on. When I draw the legs, the back legs come to right where the wall and the floor meet, but the front legs are going to go a little bit further past that. And look, here's another trapezoid. Our rug is a trapezoid because this part of our rug is farther away from us than that part of our rug. Let's make a drawing. All right, now because it's about the window, we're going to make a big window. We want a nice big window. We don't want a tiny window. We won't be able to show too much of a landscape. So look how big my window is here. It's a really big window compared to the sheet of paper. Now I'm going to put my ceiling. That is my ceiling. And this is my floor. So now we have the ceiling, our window, and the floor. First thing I'm going to do is put in our landscape. And you know what the rule is. You've got to put in your horizon line first. So I'm going to get some big mountains. No two are the same. Some are big, some are small. Now I'm going to put like another line here that shows where the flatland is and where this starts becoming a mountain. I'm going to put a road in. I'm going to make it a little curvy. And remember, with our perspective, the road is smaller here, and as I draw so it comes closer, it gets bigger. The same thing is true for our fence. The fence posts are close to each other, farther away, and look what's happening to them as they get closer to me. There's more space in between. This is perspective. This is showing the viewer that the fence posts are occupying real space. All right, so we have those in. Now we can put trees in, any kind of trees you want. I'm putting some pine trees in because they're a very simple shape to draw. There we go, a couple of pine trees. And now my sheep. Sheep are super easy. Make a cloud. See a cloud? If it was in the sky, it would look just like a cloud. Then I'm going to put an oval. Sheeps don't have a whole lot of neck going on, and they also got floppy ears. And they got these skinny little legs that come out. I can only see 3 of my sheep's legs right now, but we'll give them a pal. Remember, cloud, puffy cloud, oval for our sheep's head, floppy ear, and then skinny little legs that get even skinnier as they go down to the bottom. Okay, well there's our landscape. Oh, we need a bush. Let's put a bush in here. Here's our part of our bush. Here's the other part of our bush. Now we'll give it a couple of limbs like that. That way our picture is full. If we wanted to, we could put a sun in here. We could put some clouds in here. Whatever's out this window is completely up to you. It can be any kind of scene you want out this window. It can be an alien scene from another planet. It can be a desert, anything you want. We saw some that had the ocean. So whatever's out this window, that's completely up to you, as all of it is. So I'm just going to draw another line here to show. Whoops, I need to grab another pencil. To show my windowsill. Right? And now I'm going to put my curtains in. Curtains are just kind of wavy lines that are on either side of our window. Remember, you have an eraser for a reason. We can go back in and we can erase all these lines that are overlapping. All right, our window and our landscape is done. Time for our bench. Remember how I said we were going to start with a long rectangle. So this is the front of our bench. Now here comes our trapezoid. I'm going to put one line going that way, another line going this way, and I'm going to draw my line across. This is where our kitty, and remember how I showed you guys how to draw a sleeping cat? A circle with another circle, a couple of ears, a backward number 2, a couple of paws coming out, and a tail swishing down. Here's our kitty. Now our couch needs legs. The back legs are going to hit that line because it's up against the wall. But the front legs are going to come a little bit below that line. That way it looks like it's in believable 3D space. Now we have our bench. We're going to use our trapezoid for the carpet. So we're going to draw a line this way, and then it goes out on this side and out on that side. And I'm going to put a couple of little patterns in here. You can do any kind of rug you want. Now the way we fill up the rest of the room is up to you. I put a clock in, but if you wanted to, you could put another painting in. Maybe if you put a painting of a landscape next to the landscape out the window, that would be fun. So maybe a little horizon line, a little river going through, maybe some high mountains in the background. So now we have a photograph or a painting of a landscape right next to our real landscape. You could fill this up with clocks or lamps. You could put people in it. We saw people in some of the photographs. So here's how we can draw an inside drawing and an outside drawing at the same time. Well, as you know, I always show you a version of what we worked on if you're one of those lucky kids that has oil pastels, watercolor. And today we did a little bit of collage. So wrapping paper, any kind of pattern paper you have around will work. So here is my drawing, then I added paint to it. But I also wanted to do something to make my landscape special. So I used only oil pastels for my landscape. And then I colored my couch in completely and my rug in completely. But everything else is painted. I painted my floor, my wall, and my ceiling. And then I found some cool paper and I made some curtains, and I had a little left over, and I made some throw pillows for our couch. A little orange kitty sleeping there. So here is an idea. If it's too hot to go outside and play, you can stay inside and draw what's outside your window. And you can draw what's inside the house and what's outside the window in the same drawing. I hope you enjoyed our class today, Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's new series, Inspired by Spring. We'll see you again for another aspect of spring.